A few months have passed now since the passing of the Celtic great Billy McNeill, and locally many people are discussing how we mark this great man's legacy. Billy came from the area of MOSSEND in Bellshill and is still well known and well regarded in the area. Indeed, he was a former pupil of Holy Family Primary School, moving on to Our Lady's High School in Motherwell. So today, to discuss how this moves forward and how we mark his legacy locally, we're joined by Eddie Linus and Willie Markey of the campaign to erect a statue to Billy McNeill in Bellshill. How did it come about, the idea for a statue to Billy McNeill?
Well, the original idea was myself. I went to the local area partnership with the idea that something should be erected to mark this man's achievements. He was the man that put Bellshill on the map, i.e. the first man in Britain to lift the European Cup. At first it was met with a bit of scepticism, different people saying, there's something to mark it at the Ravenscraig Hall of Fame. Personally, I argued the case that I don't think it was good enough. After all, the great Rangers man David Cooper has got his statue in Hamilton. Jinky has got his statue in View Park. But to me, Billy's achievements outwith both of them, even though they were great individuals as they were. So, at the start, help wasn't forthcoming. And unfortunately, most things like this, it takes the passing of the man before people in office basically decide to do something for it. And I got a call from MSP to come to see him, and then we found out that the local area partnership have £15,000 available to go towards raising a statue.
I mean, obviously you mentioned there his death started that process off. Were you moved by the sheer outpouring of emotion and grief from all sides of the community?
Most definitely. You only need to look at the clubs involved that sent messages of support to the family everywhere, Scotland, England, throughout the world. They were well renowned.
I mean, what do you think Billy McNeill's legacy is for Bellshill and the wider community?
Well, basically, I'll go back to my previous point. To me, I think he put Bellshill on the map. We've been the first person in Britain to get his hands on the great European Cup. Although the great Matt Busby obviously followed him the year after, but Billy was the man that started it all off. And Matt Busby, great man that he was, he's got the sports centre made after him. And I just felt strongly as a Bellshill man that he should be marked in some way in his hometown.
Yeah, and I think there's other implications. Of course, Billy come from a very interesting background. He had, like myself, he had Irish and Lithuanian roots. And I think, it's quite timely in a sense, and we're discussing political issues and other things as well, that the influence of these people and these immigrants in forming modern Scotland, in a sense, is something that...
It's probably fair to say that without the immigration, this wouldn't be happening. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. That's what this man has done.
Mm-hmm. Well, of course, I mean, you look back and you see it's a perfect example of someone who has come from an immigrant background, has integrated well in society, contributed to Scottish society, and is set, the whole country really on fire with his legacy, But I think going beyond Billy's sporting legacy, I think it's more the man himself, wasn't it?
Well, he's widely regarded, as Willie says, all over the world as a great gentleman. On both sides of the religious divide. He's well respected by Rangers fans all over, I know, as well as Celtic fans. And you just have to look at his friendship and the way with the great Rangers captain John Gregg, and how Billy's passing affected John too, because they were great friends off the park. So he's a well-respected man throughout football. And Atletico Madrid, actually, they honoured him, with a presentation to Liz and his daughter, with some memento.
To me, he wasn't a man that commanded respect. He gained it. Do you know what I mean? He earned it. Everything he had, he earned it.
Yeah, and I think it's relevant to point out that obviously, regarding, you mentioned John Gregg there, Archbishop Leo Cushly last week suggested that perhaps before Billy died, that both John Gregg and Billy McNeill should be given knighthoods. So that just shows you the kind of measure of the man himself, you know, and the respect he commanded across society. He's also very devout in his faith as well, which is something which is quite inspiring for you know, Catholics and other people who have religious belief, because, you know, he was very close to the church. He was obviously baptised here. I've got his baptismal record here from Holy Family MOSSEND, 1940. And then obviously when the Holy Family parish broke up into the surrounding parishes of Sacred Heart and Bellshill, he was under that area, and then he was married there to his wife Liz.
Yep.
In Sacred Heart. So really, you know, there's one question of debate I want to know if you can settle it. Some people here call him Willie instead of Billy. So what's
I'm sure his father always referred to him as Willie, if I'm not mistaken.
And his mother, God rest her, it's William.
William.
Someone came up to me just after he died. We put a post up online about Billy McNeill. So I was like, "What's this Billy McNeill?" He's called Willie. Do you know what I mean?
Nellie used to it's William.
Yeah.
And again, just one small point again about how much a gentleman he was. Going back years ago when I was in hospital, you know, he took the time. His father was in the next ward to me, and he took time every time he was in seeing Jimmy. He always came in to see how I was, because he always remembered you. And but my own father, God rest him, used to work for Billy when he had the halfway house. You know, so very well respected man.
Yeah.
Gentleman.
I mean, I've had experience myself of meeting Billy McNeill when I was 17. We were doing a video for the parish 125th anniversary. He was more than delighted to speak to us, and I was using a terrible dinky toy camera at the time, and he treated the interview exactly like he would anyone else, you know, a major broadcaster. So I was very impressed by his humility. You know, that's something that's an example for everybody in MOSSEND and Bellshill, you know, and every boy and girl who are aspiring sports stars of the future. You know, you can see that.
Definitely what you're saying. If in this statue, 100 years to come, I mean, it's a sporting hero. It's not just a football thing. Yeah. It's for the wider community, like kids. Any sport. What was this man about? You know, and that's.
I mean, yeah. If you think about it, I think 100 years time we'll look back and you won't think so much about, you know, is it Celtic, is it Rangers? It's an achievement for Scotland. It's got local sport. You know, this is a man who was a trailblazer, the first team from Northern Europe, first captain from Northern Europe to lift the European Cup at a time where football was dominated by Southern European teams. So he broke that mould, and that kind of almost led the way for the Dutch teams in total football to come in. So it's something that maybe in the Scottish psyche we're a bit more. We don't like compliments, we don't like to talk about achievements, don't want to seem to be boasting, but he should be celebrated, and that's what you're here for today, to launch the idea and promote the idea that the statue will be raised.
It's basically a continuation, celebration of his life, isn't it? Just getting it out there.
So obviously you've been given significant funding and planning. What is the next stage? What's the requirements to push this forward?
The next stage is in the 5th of July. Myself, Willie, and the rest of the committee will meet with Matt Gazello of the regional planning, and we'll visit the 4 sites which the public meeting put forward. Obviously, it has to be in council-owned land because they're funding it. So we will go and look at the 4 sites, and then we'll go back to the next meeting, and we'll go to the vote to see what one is one.
Look at the 4 sites and basically narrow it down to.
Yeah.
What's more suitable, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course for everyone who else is watching, we noticed a lot of comments online when we first passed about the idea of a statue that they'd be desperate to fund or donate to it. How can people donate? What's the plan?
Well, we're actually looking at setting up a Facebook page where we'll have a Just Giving fund where people can donate. Also looking at various things throughout the community, as in possibly fundraising, race nights, dances, that sort of thing, to raise whatever we need, you know.
Charity football matches and all when it's come up.
Excellent. No, I wish you well, and thanks very much for, of course, coming in today to chat about this. It's something very close to our hearts in this parish, and myself personally, that I'd like to see happen in Bellshill and for the wider area. And of course, for those watching online, they can keep updated on the progress with your page. I'll also post details with this post about the Just Giving page for those who may wish to contribute a small amount to help raise this statue for everybody in Bellshill. So I'd like to thank Eddie and Willie for coming in today to talk about this, and it's something to look forward to in the local area, and we're going to keep you informed and hopefully very soon in the near future we'll have a fantastic statue of the great man himself, Billy McNeill. Rest in peace.